We need a Christmas tree. A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and for their continued support of Arkansas PBS.
14-6 with 6:55 to play here in the first half as Fayetteville comes back on the field with good field position as the ball is going to be at the 43-yard line.
It's got to settle in if you're Bladen Fike. I think he's trying to press a little too much.
Now here's a handoff, goes up the right side, and nice second effort that time by Espino as he's going to pick up 9 yards on the play.
Nice job by Espino, keeps the leg churning. Go until the whistle, until you hit that turf. Nice job by Fayetteville running back.
2nd down and 1 for the Bulldogs. Espino, right side, he'll get the 1st down and more as he crosses the 45 to the 44.
Simple. Just straight ahead right there for Fayetteville. They'll pull the backside guard. He gets the block right there, number 60, coming into your screen, Sam Van Hook. Nice block there. Paves the way for a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 with the ball at the 44-yard line. Fike gonna look to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Has a man and it bounces off his chest. That time trying to hook up with Jalen Blackburn.
When you're a quarterback and things aren't going your way, that's what tends to happen. That was a perfect dart right in the chest, as you mentioned, RJ, of Blackburn. And it's not where you're supposed to catch the football. The worst place to hit a guy is right in the numbers. You got to make the hands catch. That time he just let it get into his body and bounces away.
So it brings up 2nd down and 10. 2 wide receivers on the top side of the formation. Fike looking left, gonna throw left. Has a man off his hands. That time tried to hook up with Espino.
It's lacked McKinney.
Oh yeah, McKinney. McKinney had it just go right off his hands.
11 catches, 148 yards this year for McKinney. That's a great concept. They run a Satania out, kind of on a post route. The cornerback and the safety go with number 1, and 20's wide open on the flag, but he just couldn't haul it in.
So now it's 3rd down and 10. And we've got a whistle, and it'll be a timeout charge to Fayetteville.
There's a little confusion on trying to get that play in for the Bulldogs. And so they're going to talk it over as they've got a 3rd and 10 here. And if it's kind of no man's land, RJ, if you pick up 4 or 5 here, maybe you consider going for it on 4th down. Don't forget to stay tuned for the Arkansas PBS halftime show with David Basil. I want to talk with Ed Leon, the Chief Operating Officer at Arkansas PBS. We'll also learn about the 1991 UCA Bear Football Championship. And we're going to meet Conway Wampus Cat, Wes Boudreau. He only has 2 legs. Wampus Cats have 6.
You know, I actually did that interview with Wes Boudreau and was over hanging out at Conway. Have you seen Conway lately? The facilities they've got, the indoor arena for the football team to practice, and soccer is, they've got it going on at Conway right now.
Yeah, facilities have just exploded. You know, Northwest Arkansas, Central Arkansas, even down south. I mean, it's amazing the facilities that some of these high schools have now. 3rd
down and 10. Fike gonna look to throw, and he overthrows his intended target. Now we've got a penalty flag down.
Yeah, that flag came well into the secondary, and it might have been a little bit of hand fighting. Might have held him.
Hayes Robinson was the intended target.
Holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty from previous spot, 1st down.
So it's not an automatic 1st down, but it was 3rd and 10 there. That's a big break for Fayetteville as that pass sailed well out of bounds.
That is a huge penalty, and so now you've got 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs with the ball resting on the 34-yard line. Fike's going to throw it into the wheel route, right side. Got his man, as that time he was able to find Christian Setzer on the wheel route. And so that'll get a fresh set of downs to bring up 1st and 10 again.
They don't throw it to the running back a ton in this Fayetteville offense, but you mentioned they get Setzer on the wheel route, his 12th catch of the season. That's a big one. Now they're knocking on the door of the red zone.
So 1st and 10 with the ball at the 22. Working the ball straight up the middle that time was Setzer.
It's just tough sledding inside for Fayetteville. They can't get a whole lot going on the ground game. 11 carries, 29 yards. The longest run of the day for Fayetteville was a quarterback scramble from Fike.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Fike takes the shotgun snap. Gonna look to go deep. Has a man in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Fayetteville. Jalen Blackburn.
Blackburn with the double move on the outside. Fike gave a pump, and he was wide open as the Bryant defender bit on it, and that was just an easy pitch and catch for the score. And makes up for the drop pass earlier in the drive, and Fayetteville is going to kick the PAT.
So on to kick. Kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, we've got a 1-point ball game, 14-13. Bryant on top of Fayetteville, but all the momentum right now is in favor of the Fayetteville Bulldogs. They went on a 7-play, 57-yard drive in 2 minutes and 1 second. Let's head down to Kyle Sutherland on the sidelines.
Guys, you know, that was a big-time confidence booster for Bladen Fike there. Other than that touchdown to Isaiah Satania earlier, was a pretty tough game so far for him. But that pump and then the throw wide open for a touchdown, momentum has shifted just like you said, RJ.
Thank you, Kyle. As we're under 5 minutes to play here in the first half, Bryant 14, Fayetteville 13.
It's kind of lost with this offense. Everybody knows about Isaiah Satania, but Jalen Blackburn and Dylan Cattell, they've combined for 117 catches this year. You're talking about over 1,400 yards receiving between the two of them. They've got weapons in this offense. So if you start to put all your eyes on number 1, numbers 2 and 8 can also torch you.
So Harrison Ennis will be on to kick. He'll put a foot into it, and it'll be taken at the 6-yard line. Bringing it up for the Hornets is Jordan Knox, and Knox will bring it all the way out past the 25-yard line to the 27.
So Fayetteville's responded, RJ. They fall down 14-0. They reel off 13 straight points. Now how do the Hornets respond back? We got plenty of time here in this first half. 4:48 remaining until the intermission. The drive here gets a lot of momentum because you got to remember Fayetteville gets the football to start the third quarter. Bryant needs to put it together a drive offensively just to get a little confidence going. They only have 69 yards of offense in this first half.
3 wide receivers on the top of the route. Burnett fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has a man, and the ball is caught. No, they're going to say it's incomplete now. Well, are they? I saw 2 things. I saw an incomplete, then I saw a catch by another referee, so they are going to call it a completed catch at the 42-yard line.
It's Mytorian Singleton. He's the go-to man. Just a sophomore, but a great catch there. Takes the blow from the defensive back and moves the chains.
1st and 10. They're going to hand it off right side to Martin. Martin's going to get out for a 5-yard gain to bring up 2nd down. A little surprised by how stagnant the Bryant Hornet offense has been, really. I mean, and that's really a testament to what Fayetteville's defense has done.
Yeah, Fayetteville's done a nice job of getting pressure by not having to rush extra defenders. We talked about how Bryant's rushing only 3. Fayetteville, the majority of the time, only bringing that front 3. And they're able to get to the quarterback.
2nd down, and I hand it to Martin again, straight up the middle. He's going to be very near the 1st down as he gets it across the 50 to the 48. And Jansky's going to be there on the tackle, and they are going to call it a 1st down.
See if Bryant wants to slow it down just a touch. Now we're inside 4 minutes. We want to make sure that, A, you capitalize on your drive, but B, you don't want to leave Fayetteville too much time before the half.
Carson Burnett is in the shotgun. They've got stacked wide receivers on either side. Burnett looking to throw. It's intercepted at the 43. Bringing it up the left side for Fayetteville. It's Turner. Turner's going to go out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Just didn't see the middle linebacker for Fayetteville. I mean, Caden Turner is usually the man you want to find, and Burnett just threw it right to him as he tries to throw it across the middle, and this right place drops into that zone, and Turner with the big return, and now Fayetteville again going to start a drive with great field position, and another big play for number 9, the senior linebacker for the Purple Dogs.
So they're going to say officially went out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 3:22 to play here in the second quarter.
You lock onto a receiver, you see the open area on the guy that's covering him, but a lot of time those linebackers who are dropping into zones get lost to a quarterback, and Turner takes advantage of it.
Fike gonna hand it. No, he's gonna fake it. Step up in the pocket. He's under pressure, and he's gonna be taken down back across the 45. They're gonna mark him down at the 46.
That's a big play by the defense for Bryant. You got to try to answer the bell. Fayetteville's defense is rising to the occasion, and that's on the front for the Hornets. Breaks free.
Fike's not been easy to bring down tonight. They have chased him all night long, and that's really one of the first times they've been able to get to him.
Now, Ivory Gilmore, 44, junior defensive lineman there, makes the play for Bryant. Now Fayetteville facing a 2nd and 19.
Here's the shotgun snap to Fike. Looking to throw. Fike now under pressure, and he's going to be taken down again. This time taken down by Jalen Brown, the junior linebacker.
The initial protection was there for Fayetteville. They had 4 receivers running deep routes. Nobody was open. Fike steps up, and then the linebackers just converge, and Brown makes the play.
Now you're at a 3rd down and 26 for Fayetteville, as we're down to 2:16 and counting in the quarter.
We're starting to see Bryant make that initial adjustment. They're starting to drop a safety over the top of Satania wherever he's at. Now they're bailing on the coverage.
Here's Fike looking to throw. Goes left side, has a wide open man. That's Satania, as he's going to get it back near the original markers, and they'll take him out of bounds at the 39-yard line, which is 2 yards shy of that original line to gain.
And Bryant's going to burn a timeout as they're going to say his momentum was stopped in the field of play, so the clock was continuing to run. And the Hornets burned their first timeout, hoping to get the ball back for their offense.
So it's 4th down and 12 for Fayetteville.
And there's no indication there that Fayetteville was going to punt the football. Again, this is kind of no man's land. You've got dynamic playmakers in Satania, Blackburn, for Fayetteville, so why not see if your guys can go out there and make a play. See the natural state from a bird's eye view and exploring Arkansas from above. The airs after the game tonight, 9:30-ish.
9:30-ish.
It's key.
Depending on this game, right?
Never know with live sports.
Yes. Well, if it's anything like that 8-man game that we had the other night.
And it's at 11.
I tell you what, we started that game at, 7 and ended up finishing at about
45.
Yeah, I know I got home at about 11:45. So it's 4th down and 12 with the ball at the 39-yard line. 1:49 to play here in the first half.
Offense out there for Fayetteville. Satania is going to be the receiver to the top of your screen.
Fike is in the shotgun. Going to look to throw. Has a man caught, taken down at the 20-yard line.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You've got playmakers on the outside, and that time the coverage was rolling to the top of Satania. They go to Blackburn. He makes the big play, and a huge first down as now Fayetteville's in the red zone.
So it's 1st and 10 for Fayetteville. Fike going to look to throw again. Pump fakes, goes left side, and it's knocked away as it was well overthrown. That time for Bryant, it was Drake Fowler who knocked it away.
Yeah, lucky that one wasn't intercepted. They faked the tunnel screen. They try to get the would-be blocker to sneak out on a wheel route. And they throws into double coverage. And again, lucky that one wasn't picked off. And another Fayetteville lineman lost his helmet, so he's got to come out for a play. 7 of 19 passing is Bladen Fike. He's got a couple touchdowns.
Fike's going to look to throw, steps up in the pocket, going to run with it. Fike takes it down to the 16-yard line. So he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down now for Fayetteville.
That's a really good play by Traylon Russ for Bryant. He doesn't go for the pump fake, gets Fike on the ground, the old alligator roll, grab a leg and spin, forcing 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 7. Fike going to look to throw again. He's got it right side. It's intercepted at the 3-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 3. Another interception for the Bryant Hornets.
What a big-time play there. We've called his name a few times. Miguel Graham just played an excellent play. It's just going to be a stop route, maybe a back shoulder throw, and he sees it, he recognizes it, he picks it off. I was going to say his knee was on the ground. That's why they blew it dead, but I thought Blackburn was going to make the play. He deflects it and able to corral it himself. And they may look at this. If his foot was out of bounds before he corralled the interception, that could be an incomplete pass.
That
would be worth taking another look at a replay of that, because if his foot was out of bounds before he had firm possession of that pass, that'd be a turnover. Would not be an interception, it'd be an incomplete pass. He hasn't buzzed it down yet.
Bobby's on buzzer watch. Here we go. They blow it into play, and now Burnett's going to be working out of his own end zone.
We'll say from that angle.
Going to hand it off to Ganaway, who goes straight up the middle, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
With this kind of field position, and even though you've got 2 timeouts, I bet Bryant's content with just running the football one more time and getting into the half with a 1-point lead.
Down to 37 seconds to play here in the quarter.
If you're Fayetteville, you just make sure that you don't let anything over your head. You don't draw in on a play-action pass. You got to believe that this one's going to go to 41, just straight ahead and head to the locker room.
Down to 10 on the game clock here in the first half. Gonna hand it off again. Ganaway out to the right side. Ganaway has a running lane out past the 30, and he gets out of bounds with 1 second left on the clock.
That's the one thing if you're Fayetteville you're trying to avoid. You let Ganaway break free. He steps out of bounds with 1 second on the clock, and now still a long way to go for Bryant. Do you try something crazy? Do you try the hook and lateral? You try to throw one deep, maybe a screen pass, see if you can break a play, or if you want to play it conservative, just hand it off to number 41 again and take it to the locker room.
Well, Fayetteville's going to put 4 people back with their heels on the 50-yard line. So Burnett with 3 wide receivers to the near side, going to throw. Burnett going left side, has his wide receiver, that time hooked up with Jordan Knox, goes out of bounds, and that's going to do it for the first half.
It's going to pad the stats, but that play pretty inconsequential. Well, Bryant's got a 14-13 lead at the half.
So as Buck James is walking off the field, Kyle Sutherland is going to catch up with him and get his thoughts here on the first half of play, as the Hornets, they lead it 14-13 over Fayetteville, and Buck's making his way to the locker room, and here momentarily we'll chat with our own Kyle Sutherland. And it looks like Kyle's got him now. Take it away, Kyle.
Coach, your defense had 3 interceptions. Then on offense, you just had some good plays right there. How do you guys keep the momentum going and get Carson going in the passing game?
Well, we hadn't kept the momentum going. That's one thing. We're going to have to get the momentum going. I mean, they've outplayed us, I think, in every aspect of the game. We're lucky to be winning right now. But we got to play a lot better. We're not playing very well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Buck's not very happy right now as his team leads by 1 as we've reached the halftime mark. And when we come back, we will give you a little recap of everything going on here in the first half, get you some stats, and then hit you off to some interviews that our own Arkansas PBS folks have gotten done during the offseason. As you're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks. By remembering that you come first. By empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charity, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
We're at the half where the Bryant Hornets lead at 14-13 over the Fayetteville Bulldogs. I'm R.J. Hawk along with Bobby Swafford. And Bobby, are you surprised with the way this one's gone so far here in the first half?
I think I'm surprised about how well the two defenses have been playing, especially the three-man front for both sides. We've talked about Johnson a few times, got the 2 sacks, had the big hit that forced the turnover for Fayetteville, and the three-man front's been holding its own for Bryant as well, getting pressure on Fike. They've got the 3 interceptions. The defenses are playing well, and that's why we've got a low-scoring 14-13 affair.
Total offense so far in this ball game. The Fayetteville Bulldogs, 154 yards of total offense. Bryant with 149 so far.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that's the most important, and we saw the big run there from Ganaway that's added to those stats, Fayetteville's been able to control the running game of Bryant. And we know that through the years and through this dynasty they've had, the 3 state championships, they've had some good quarterbacks. They like to run the football first. Buck James has built his legacy on running the football first. Fayetteville's done a nice job of slowing that, controlling the line of scrimmage, forcing them to pass, and that's been advantageous for the Purple Dog defense.
One thing Bryant has done a really good job of, I think, is containing Satania, because he's only got 59 yards and a touchdown on 2 receptions so far here in the first half.
Yeah, they were going to go man-to-man, not give any safety help until they got beat, and they did that on the 47-yard touchdown route. The touchdown that was the simple go route, so now they're starting to go a little safety help, but that's also opened up things for Jalen Blackburn. Now we've seen Fayetteville's offense start to settle in because of that one big play to Satania.
Well, we've got much more coming up here at halftime, as we've got interviews and some a look at the 1991 national champions for the UCA Bears. It's all coming up next as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Hey everybody, it's halftime here on Arkansas PBS, sponsored by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. I'm your host, David Basil, here at the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, we'll look back 30 years ago to celebrate the national championship run by the UCA Bears. Plus, RJ Hawk talks with Wes Boudreau, another standout student athlete in the 7A division. But first, we can't believe this is already the 4th year Arkansas PBS has partnered with the Arkansas Activities Association to cover high school championship finals in football, basketball, baseball, and softball. Joining us is Ed Leon, the Chief Operating Officer for Arkansas PBS, to discuss how high school sports fit into the Arkansas PBS mission. Ed, thanks for being here.
Baz, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I think 10 years ago, if somebody would have asked how does sports fit with Arkansas PBS, there wasn't a fit.
No, there wasn't a fit, and we saw this as an opportunity to fulfill our mission to Arkansas. We see ourselves as a public service. We're a resource for the entire state of Arkansas, and the creative people and our broadcast, infrastructure is something for the in service of the state, and this is one way we're really stepping up and helping to fill a void.
What kind of feedback have you got?
Listen, initially all the people who watch the British dramas were like, what's going on here?
Yes.
But now it is, we do surveys. Sports is a beloved programming that we do. Even the people that put number one choice, mysteries and comedies, will put sports as their number 2 priority on the channel. So it's really resonated across the state, and because we're a statewide network, we go everywhere free, right? So in the past, the coverage for the championship games has not been universal in the state.
Right.
But with our broadcast coverage statewide, we're able to do that, and that means that grandma and grandpa and you know the family, the extended family that can't make it to the stadium at War Memorial, they can watch the game at home and engage with all the other fans.
And we have to acknowledge too, you guys are putting out a great product. This is not some halfway attempt in pulling off this coverage. It's top class coverage.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, you know, coming from you, that's a big compliment. We have just a tremendous, you know, creative team here that does that. And we're very proud of our partners, AAA, our co-production partners, M&M, and you know, talent like you, Baz. You come in here, you help us out every year to put a first quality product out there, and we take it seriously. Listen, I'm from Los Angeles. I love sports. You know, I want us to be proud of our broadcasts.
Well, can we expect anything in the future? More coverage, the same coverage, and what's the future for sports?
Well, listen, last year we took on softball and baseball for the first time, and it was really well received. So we're just trying to elevate our game, and the other thing we do is these sports stories that we run here in the halftime show. You know, listen, this is uniquely Arkansas. We see ourselves as Arkansas storytellers, and these stories, some of them Emmy award winning. We've won some Emmys for some of these stories. You know, that really bring home the student athlete experience and the whole community around sports. It's not just the game on the field. It is the bands and the cheerleaders and the whole community engagement. I mean, these stories really make the sports come alive.
You have, real quick, do you have a favorite of all the sports that you enjoy watching?
Oh, geez, I'm a basketball fan.
Okay,
so I'm always willing. Listen, I'm in the truck, you know, with the team putting on these broadcasts myself. So I'm hands on.
Well, listen, Ed, we appreciate your leadership and the great job that Arkansas PBS has done, and I think it's a great fit. And, you know, as an audience member, I appreciate the fact you guys are teaming up with the Arkansas Activities Association and sharing not just the sport, as you mentioned, but the inspiring sports stories with a statewide audience. But now we need to take a look at a dose of inspiration in a title run that happened 30 years ago. It's the tale of the 1991 University of Central Arkansas Bears, who took a 6-2-2 record into the NAIA playoffs and found glory on a cold December day. Here's their story.
We actually got embarrassed our first 2 games.
There's a lot of people down on us. There's a lot of people that didn't think this team was going to be very good.
You know, at one point we were 2-2-2. I mean, who does that?
I don't think anyone gave us a chance, and sometimes I don't know if I gave us a chance, to be honest with you. We just kind of kept getting a little better every ball game. We got off to a slow start.
Out of the gates, and we were 0-2-1.
It was highly disappointing.
We had signed a transfer, felt like was going to be our quarterback. He got hurt.
So we went to a freshman quarterback, Ken Collins.
But new quarterback, it's a freshman youngster from Vernon, Texas, Ken Collins.
The skinny kid.
He was a true freshman.
I'll put it to you like this. The day where the picture guy comes in for team pictures, I didn't even get a picture made. My mom got mad at me, but it's like, I'm not going to play this year, so I'll get a picture of when I'm playing.
He was just an outstanding athlete, a better quarterback and football player than we anticipated.
Probably game 4, I played about half of that game. We ended up winning, and after that, Coach Isom said, hey, you know, I'm about to play this rookie, so everybody get behind him. The confidence that he had in his decision was very impressive to me. Because this was his second year as a head coach, and I'm putting my paycheck in a rookie's hand.
He ran the offense. He didn't make mistakes. And then we had the 2 great running backs in Aaron Bobo and Jose Knowlton. And then you have a guy like Tyree Davis that doesn't drop things. He punt returns. He does it all for the team.
So we had a great defense, and we had a great running game. And you get in a groove, and you start playing well, and you start looking around going, all right, we got a real shot at this.
We felt fortunate to get into the playoffs.
We got into the playoffs as the number 8 seed. and we were playing the #1 seed. They were #1 team in the country.
Didn't have much trouble with either of our opponents in the quarterfinals and semifinals, but we didn't know what to expect out of Central State other than they've just traditionally been very good. We were definitely the underdogs. Central State, Ohio had 100 players on their team, all on scholarship, and we had 35 scholarships. They had played for the national championship 2 years previous, and they had won the 2 previous games. Then it started snowing during the first half.
It's a full-on blizzard-type situation. We actually ran a play where, you know, I faked it to Jose. I kind of stuck it on my hip, but we had white jerseys, and I can't help but think that helped a little bit. And I snuck in the corner of the end zone.
Playing in snow as far south as we are is not very common. It did melt off, but that was an interesting situation for our players. Ahead at halftime. We just tried to encourage them to not get down if something bad happened, and the closest they got it was the tie score on just previous to our last drive.
It was 16-16. We were thinking like, is this going to happen again?
In the 80s, we ended up going to the national championship game twice. We tied both ball games.
And we did not want to tie this game. We wanted to be outright national champions.
With everything that we had been through, you're looking around going, let's get this thing done. Everybody was calm, everybody was confident, and we just did our thing. You know, you throw a pass to Tyree here, you rattle off a big run by Jose, you sneak it for a 4th and 1, and you look up and, man, you're in the red zone, and then Steve Strange is running out there.
Steve had plenty of confidence. I felt comfortable whether he had a hurt leg or not.
In the first half, tore my quad on my kicking foot. It was throbbing, it was a shooting pain, it was miserable, it was cold. The winds were blowing 25 to 30 miles an hour. My leg hurt.
Here we go. It'll be with the ball squarely in front of the goalpost, a 22-yard field goal attempt. Steve Strange, the Conway senior, at long centering. He does. The kick is up. It's up. It's up.
It was my last kick. That was my last kick.
The Bears won it. The Bears have won the title. If so.
Oh, I was ecstatic, no question about it.
That was exhilarating. It was awesome.
Football just brings people together. That team all year long was together.
The reunion, it's about the only time I get to see them is if we have a reunion.
You gotta look close, and because I'm gray and they're gray and some of them don't have hair and we all look different, but it's really cool. When you go through something like that, just like anything in life that stirs your heart, you remember the people that stuck with you. We'll always have a relationship, and we may not talk every week, but when you see them, the first thing you want to do is hug them.
Everybody look, say, national champs. Yes. Mom.
30 years. We are old. And now, 3 decades later, the 1991 UCA Bears remain the only Arkansas college football team to claim an undisputed national championship. Okay, let's meet another standout student athlete. We sent R.J. Hawk to catch up with Wes Boudreau, a rising star from the Conway Wampus Cats.
Well, Wes, you know, it's been a remarkable season for Conway. And really, this is the first time I've been able to come down to Conway and see the facilities that we're in. How much preparation and how much does that help you and this team really get ready for a football game, knowing that if you got bad weather, you guys have somewhere like this to go?
It's just really great, you know, having such a nice facility. So when there's like rainy weather or too hot, we can come in here. So having a place to practice, even in bad weather conditions, I think gives us a good advantage and a good privilege that some schools don't have.
Football started for you at the age of 6. Mm-hmm. I mean, you were out playing flag football with the Optimist League or whoever it may have been.
Yeah.
What have you learned over that time?
The biggest thing that I've learned probably has been a good work ethic, because you have to put in a lot of work while you're here and with the team. But then if you really want to be great at something, I think you have to be able to do work outside of the stuff that you do while you're here. And so I think that determination and that work ethic was really instilled by the coaches and by my peers, especially too, the competition.
Well, it was told to me that your mom, she also instilled that work ethic. Mm-hmm. What's your mom mean to you as far as, you know, thinking about what she's taught you as far as what you need to do outside of football to get that work ethic?
She's an extremely hardworking woman, and she's done a great job providing for me and my brother and raising us on her own. Seeing her do that and just seeing like the drive that she has every day to get up and do those things has really inspired me and instilled in me a good work ethic, I think.
Life after football, you know, that's when the work starts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you want to do when you get done playing high school football, going on to college? What do you want to do?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to go to an engineering college to go into either aerospace engineering or astrophysics or something like that.
Where do you want to stay in state, or do you want to go? Do you want to start here and then move out? What do you want to do?
I'm trying to go out of state, so I've applied to Columbia, Stanford, Yale, Princeton, just some big schools.
You have a 32 ACT, a 4.1 GP. First off, when I was in school, you could only get to a 4.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't go 4.1. You're 4.1. I mean, you've got to be tops of your class right now, right?
I think I'm up there, pretty close.
What's that mean? I mean, to not only be a leader on this football team, but to be a leader in the classroom, that's got to be pretty special.
I try not really to think about it too much because I don't really like to toot my own horn, but I kind of just put my head down and do my work and take care of my business.
Wes, thanks so much for the time. I tell you, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you grow into, what your life takes you on when you become an adult. So best of luck, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
That's it for the 7A Halftime Show. Remember, you can keep up with what's happening at Arkansas PBS by signing up at myarpbs.org/signup. I'm David Basil. Let's get you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half of the 7A Championship on your home for the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
We are at the half where Bryant, they lead Fayetteville by 14-13 here at the 7A State Championship. I'm R.J. Hawk alongside Bobby Swafford. And Bobby, you know, if the first half was any indication of what the second half is going to be like, we're in for a good one.
I thought we expected this was going to be a good contest. Yeah. We knew they're the two best teams in 7A. They've been ranked essentially number 1 and 2, or at least in some form or fashion, for most of the year, and they're playing like it. The defenses have certainly showed up. The offense is what we're going to have to see in the second half. Who makes the halftime adjustment? Fayetteville's going to get the football to start this half. They've got a chance to continue that 13-0 run they're on, take the first lead, and you never know what's going to happen if Fayetteville grabs a lead. How does the other guys across the way respond? Because they haven't been behind in the second half many times all season long.
Well, let's take a look at the first half highlights, and really the highlights are the Fayetteville defense. They have been playing outstanding, but there's a run by Ganaway that you know, if you look at any bright spots on this offense for Bryant, it's been Ganaway. He's done outstanding. And then Fike, he's been just trying to make plays downfield, but that Bryant defense got 3 interceptions there in the first half, including this pick 6 right here. And really, outside of, you know, them playing good offensively, the Bryant defense with their 3 interceptions, that's the difference in the ball game.
That's 100% the difference in the game, because you think about the interceptions where they happened. One happened in the end zone, one happened at the 3-yard line. So that's 14 points taken off the board because of the Bryant defense making plays. Fayetteville has to feel pretty good about themselves, about their offense, but they got to stop the turnovers.
Hey, let's head down to the field and check in with Kyle Sutherland. He's with Fayetteville head coach Casey Dick.
Coach Bladen's done some really good things on offense, but Bryant's done a pretty good job against them and for the most part. And so what do you guys have to do to stay consistent on offense?
I think if you look at the first half, we just make the routine plays. You know, we're in a lot better situation. Just not extraordinary plays, just the easy ones that we make every single day in practice and that we made all year. And our defense has played great like they have all year and put us in position. Just go out and have a great second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. As Fayetteville has made their way back onto the playing surface here at War Memorial Stadium as we are just about set and ready to go for second half action. And Bobby, you know, we went over some of the numbers for the first half of this ball game, and you know, time of possession is pretty much equal, 13-11 for Bryant, 10-49 for Fayetteville. Total offense in this game, Bryant 31 plays, 149 yards, Fayetteville 34 plays, 154 yards. Give me some keys to the game for the second half for both these teams.
Yeah, we'll start with Fayetteville, and I think Casey Dick just hit the nail on the head. I mean, granted, he's the head coach. He knows about his football team. But if they make the routine plays, don't try to do too much. you've got yourself a big lead right now. It's just trying to do too much, trying to force the football into tight windows, tight coverage. Just throw the ball away and live to fight another down. That's what Fayetteville has to do. On the other side, for Bryant, I think they're facing a defense that they probably haven't faced a lot this year. A team that's getting pressure with just the front three without having to bring extra blitzers from the linebacker or the secondary. So try to establish the run. Take advantage of the light hat count in the tackle box. That means only 3 down linemen. A lot of times Fayetteville's only going with 1 linebacker in the middle of the field. Make them stop you time and time again in the box. Run Ganaway, and if they shut you down there, then you got to try to go to option number 2.
Well, both teams have made their way back onto the playing surface. They're in that 3-minute warm-up time to get all stretched out after the bands had played here at the stadium. Bobby, one thing that we talked about earlier in the ball game was the size of the crowd. A good contingent of Fayetteville fans have made their way here to the capital city. Bryant, of course, has got a huge crowd on the visitor side, but we're going to have a really, really good attended ball game. I'll be interested to see what that number looks like after this game.
Yeah, the rain and the cloud cover from earlier in the day probably scared some fans away from coming out. They're watching at home on Arkansas PBS. Shout out to you guys at home watching. But I mean, this is what you want. The weather's perfect tonight. You know, if the sun was out, there wouldn't be a cloud in the sky. There's not a whole lot of winds. And they're watching 2 really good football teams just go blow for blow, duke it out. Fayetteville took the early punch. They got knocked down. They got back up. Now they've knocked Bryant down. How do the Hornets respond? I'm really pumped about this final 24 minutes because I think we're in for a good one for the remainder.
By the way, you talk about folks watching back at home. I just got a text from my wife, and my little girl Addison is watching on Arkansas PBS back at home. So remember, if you're watching the game, want to interact, hit us up on Twitter throughout the ball game and interact with us as this game goes on. Also, you can look up live stats for this ball game by going to AAA.statbroadcast.com, and you can see the live stats for this game at home while you're watching the game on Arkansas PBS Sports. There's Buck James, the head football coach for the Bryant Hornets, making his way out. He was not a happy camper as he talked to Kyle Sutherland as he went to the break.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you play a good football team, and that means you're not playing as well as you'd like. I mean, you know, and Buck James is not a guy to hide his emotions. I mean, he went in there, and I guarantee you, he told the guys exactly what he told Kyle on the sideline. Look, guys, we're not playing very well. They're outplaying us. We're lucky to have a 1-point lead.
Here's head coach Casey Dick for Fayetteville as he's got his Purple Dogs back on the sideline. You know, really, for Casey Dick in his 3rd year, he's 20-14 as the Fayetteville head coach in 3 seasons. And, you know, a lot of people moving on from Daryl Patton was tough for a lot of people because of the success that he had, but Casey's done a good job with this Fayetteville team.
Well, what Casey's brought to the Fayetteville football program has been stability. You mentioned Daryl Patton, but they had a couple coaches after that. Yeah. They went to 1 year with Bill Blankenship, who won a state championship. Then he left, and Billy Dawson came in. And so Fayetteville is just glad they've got a coach in place. Now he's got the foundation built. The last couple of years, they were about a 500 team. There's no easy way to put it. But now they've got the momentum rolling. They've got the system in play. These guys have been in this offense for a couple of years. They've been in the defense for a couple of years. It's a very senior-heavy team. They knew their window was to win this year, and now they're just 24 minutes away, and they've got a chance to do it.
Okay, we're just about set and ready to go as Fayetteville's going to receive the kick here in the second half. Back deep for Fayetteville, you've got Isaiah Satania as well as Ryan Maxwell.
To begin the second half, Malachi Graham will kick off for Bryant. Isaiah Satania.
The white towels for Fayetteville it's almost like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're rolling right now here on the home side. Everybody on the Bryant side standing up, and we're just about set for second half action as the kick is in the air, and it's going to be taken down at the 10-yard line. Took a weird bounce, and Maxwell goes out of bounds as he was hit right there at the sideline, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Fayetteville.
Yeah, there's an odd rotation coming off the foot there, and you mentioned the odd bounce. It takes a direct right turn, and Fayetteville lucky to get on that loose football, and now they're going to start this drive inside their own 20. And we'll see what adjustments these two squads have made at the break. And you got to believe number 1, number 2 for Fayetteville, Satania and Blackburn, are going to be at the forefront of anything that the Purple Dogs are trying to do offensively.
Bladen Fike, 7 of 20 for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in the first half. Brings his Purple Dogs onto the field with 3 wide to the near side. Fike going to look to throw. going left side, has his wide receiver Satania at the 31-yard line. He's able to get 2 feet in, got the NFL catch in, and went out of bounds.
What that looks like, he kind of sets it up like he's going to run deep, and all of a sudden he just stops and the ball's already there. A nice back shoulder throw. It's a great angle at it. Makes the catch, foot 2 feet down. That's moving the chains.
1st and 10. They're going to hand it off. Espino is going to get about a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's all you want to do if you're Fayetteville. You just got to keep them honest. You know, eventually you feel like you might pop one here or there, but they're not going to try to routinely or consistently run the football. They're just going to try to keep them honest, keep those safeties from dropping back too much, and maybe you do eventually pop one.
2nd down and 10. Fike drops back, looks to throw. Going across the middle, finds Satania past the 50. He's off to the races at the 30, 25, and he's taken down at the 19-yard line.
That's why he's so dangerous in a late flag. I think they may get a horse collar tackle, but really, really good throw, a strong throw right in the middle, and Satania feeling it already in this second half.
We're going to get a penalty down at the 19. Let's find out
what's the end of the play here. I mean, Satania signaled 1st down.
Here comes the call.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That is a big penalty against the Bryant Hornets, as that's going to take them half the distance to the goal, and now that sets Fayetteville up big time on their first drive here in the second half.
This is a chance for Blade and Fike to make up for those first 2 mistakes in the red zone. Just make the simple play. Don't turn the football over. You got a chance to put your team up front.
Fike looks to throw, finds Satania down at the 2-yard line. He dives for the end zone, ball's on the turf, and it's picked up by Bryant, and he goes out of bounds. Bryant gets another turnover in the red zone.
Fayetteville is just shooting every toe they have off. 3 turnovers now in the red zone. Satania was just trying to do a little too much. He was fighting for that goal line. Here's a look at the replay. Just loses possession of the football. You can see it comes out right there. Definitely balls out, recovered by Bryant. A couple different players, and number 30 eventually comes out of the pile with a Drake Fowler, and the Hornets defense ever so opportunistic. And turnovers are just killing Fayetteville.
The red zone defense for the Hornets has been exceptional tonight. So now Bryant comes out. Carson Burnett in the shotgun. Gonna give it off to Ganaway. Ganaway with some running lane. He's off to the races at the 30, 35, 40. Still going midfield. 40 has one man to beat as he crosses the 30-yard line. Down to the 20, 15, and he's caught up and taken out of bounds down at the 8-yard line.
What a big-time run by Ganaway, and just how quickly momentum changes. You feel like you're about to score a touchdown. You've turned the football over, and Ganaway breaks a big long one as a Fayetteville defensive lineman is down behind the play, but that was just wide open right up the middle. It's exactly what I talked about, RJ. Establish the run game with Ganaway. One play's not going to establish it, but that's a pretty good start.
And we've got a Fayetteville player down all the way back at the 9-yard line on the other end of the field. It looks like he may be cramping. You know, one thing, Bobby, that we haven't really talked about this weekend, it's unseasonably warm here at the stadium as the temperatures are up in the upper 50s, low 60s, and you know you see him stretched out there like he's stretching out a cramp, but you haven't seen a lot of cramps this weekend.
No, we haven't. And the weather, you know, at this point in the season, you shouldn't be cramped up. You should be in shape. You shouldn't have to worry about it. He's able to get up and walk off of his own power, but what a big run by Ganaway. He goes from his own 8 to the 7.
You know, you think about the big-time superstars on both these teams with Satania and his speed, but Ganaway showed a heck of a lot of speed right there.
Yeah, that was wide open, and it's a big, big run, and now Bryant's got a chance to take a stranglehold on the momentum.
So Burnett in the shotgun. He's got James Martin to his left. And now we've got a whistle and a penalty flag.
Bad ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
85-yard run by Ganaway. It took me a minute to do some math.
They took him out of the game because he was winded.
Yeah, had to catch his breath.
Now here's Burnett, gives it off to Martin. Stretch play, right side. He's at the 10, 5, dives. Touchdown, Bryant!
Martin with the effort there. He just stretches it out, trusts his blocker, and finally turns upfield. And he works for the goal line and finally gets the call from the far official. And the Hornets take advantage of yet another Fayetteville turnover.
It took a minute to see if the touchdown came. The side official, he had a look at it, and he was able to finally get in for the touchdown after he dove for the line. And now on to kick is going to be Stephen Fuller. He's perfect on the year, by the way, Bobby, as now it looks like we're going to have a review by the replay booth. And, you know, one thing the officials kind of paused for a minute prior to the touchdown because I think they were also thinking, was his leg down prior to stretching out for that touchdown? And we'll find out here in a moment.
So what they're looking for is to see if any part of the football touches the white line of the goal line. It doesn't have to get completely across. As long as that football touches the white line, it's this touchdown would stand. I'm not going to be able to see it from that angle. Good blocking downfield from his receivers.
I don't think you're going to see a leg down. And if his elbow's down, that's not considered down.
Elbow is down.
Or, I mean, the forearm, though.
Forearm is down as well.
After review, the call stands on the field. Touchdown.
Really not, because his forearm was down right there at the beginning, and so they claim that it's a touchdown. So the Hornets get the touchdown.
Verbiage is big there as the call stands.
Yes. Because the way that his forearm was down just right before the goal line on the one replay. Fuller's extra point is up, and it is good. And just like that, the Bryant Hornets lead it 21-13, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on the Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
You join the football conversation on social media. Just use the hashtag ARPBS Sports.
By the way, when I was talking about interacting with us on Twitter, use that hashtag, and the folks over at Arkansas PBS, they're great about responding to tweets and Twitters and Facebooks. Just get on there and interact with us on all your social media platforms. By the way, that last drive, 2 plays, 91 yards in 16 seconds.
Pretty efficient, right?
Yeah, yes, it is. Now here comes Fayetteville with the football as Maxwell's got it. Maxwell, he's got a running lane out past the 40-45, and he's taken down at the 49-yard line.
That's what you need is a spark. The offense has turned the football over a couple times. You give up a big play defensively. Now the special teams gives you a spark. There's a lot of time left. We've still got more than 10 minutes left in the third quarter, and I felt like we've seen everything we could possibly see in the second half.
Yeah, we've seen more action in the second half so far than we did all the first half.
Buckle up. We're in for a treat the rest of the night, and we're nowhere near finished.
So now 3 wide receivers go to the top side of the Fayetteville offense. As Fike is in the shotgun, Espino to his right. He's going to look to throw, and he's got a receiver right side. That's Blackburn. And he'll walk out of bounds just past the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
It's a perfect throw, a bit of a dangerous throw as two defenders were near him, but Blackburn able to make the catch on the sideline. That's where you can see the arm talent of Fike. I mean, he's got a cannon. He can maybe trust it a little too much, but that time he rifles it in there, and Blackburn makes the play.
Fike takes the shotgun snap, pump fakes left. Looking to throw. And he'll swing it left side to Satania, and Satania's just a little bit out of his reach, and so that'll bring up second down.
A little behind him, but I like the decision there. He had a couple of receivers running downfield. He didn't try to force it into any tight windows, just tried to dump it out to Satania. It would have been a short gain, but the ball was a little behind his intended target, but not a bad decision. You can live with that if you're Fayetteville.
So second down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line. Fike gonna look to throw. Goes with a fade route to Blackburn, right side, and it just overthrows him. And so now that's third down.
He's trying to push the defense, push the ball down the field. Blackburn had a step on the secondary, but too far out in front. Now it's third down. We've seen this. This is kind of been where Fayetteville's kind of ran into some trouble right here between the 50 and 30-yard line. Going in, they faced numerous third downs. They've been bailed out a couple times because of a defensive penalty. We'll see what happens here on this third down attempt.
Third down and 10 as Satania and Blackburn are set on the left side of the offense. Fike looking to throw. Across the middle. Has Satania down the 20-yard line. That is a big-time catch by a Division I wide receiver.
And Malachi Graham is going stride for stride with him. Pretty good coverage for Bryant, but a good throw. It is an even better play on the football for Satania. He goes up and gets it, and the Purple Dogs back in the red zone.
3 wide to the left side. Fike looking to throw. Going right, and he throws it right at the feet of his running back Christian Setzer.
Tried to set up the screen there. Bryant sniffed it out. There was nothing happening there. Just had to bury the football.
So second down and 10. We've got a one-score game between Fayetteville and Bryant in the 7A state championship game. Here's Fike going towards the end zone and overthrows his intended target, Hayes Robinson.
That time again, they fake the tunnel screen and try to get the wheel route going up the outside. Pretty good coverage. Would have taken a perfect throw, and that far just 2 out in front of his target. Now it's another third down for Fayetteville.
You know, Fayetteville has done a really good job in between the 20s today. It's just anytime they've gotten inside the 20, it's been a struggle. Here comes Fike now. Steps up in the pocket. Gonna look to run. He crosses the 10 and gets the first down as he's gonna be taken down at the 7.
That's a great job by Fike. He saw the late pressure. Bryant brought a delayed blitz with the middle linebacker, and that just opened up the middle of the field. Fike steps up, sees the open window, and steps through it. Now it's first and goal.
So now you've got first and goal with the ball at the 7-yard line. Fike gonna fake the handoff. Gonna look to keep it himself. Rolls right, and he'll be bottled up back at the 11-yard line.
That's another one where you just got to learn to throw it away if you're Fike. One, also, if you're going to try to run and tuck that football, it's out there flopping around in your right hand. Could have easily been knocked away.
So second down now, ball at the 11-yard line.
I keep thinking that Fayetteville, maybe you run a speed sweep, try to get Satania going to the outside, but Bryant's walking their outside linebackers up outside of the tackles and really taking away anything of that nature out of the equation.
Here comes Fike, throwing a fade route left side, and he overthrows 2 Bryant defenders. There was no Fayetteville Purple Dog in the end zone on that pass.
I guess there's a little bit of miscommunication there because there was not a Fayetteville player going for the corner of the end zone. And Fike threw it up, and lucky that one falls incomplete.
Third down.
Probably 4 down territory. The only field goal Fayetteville kicked all season was last week against Conway in the semifinals that won the game for him.
Here's Fight looking to throw, and it's incomplete. There's a yellow hanky down, though, in the end zone.
I think they're going to get a hold again on Graham. Graham's played pretty well coverage-wise, but he's not afraid to get his hands on a receiver, and I think they're going to flag him for a hold. That flag definitely came out.
Holding on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
That flag came out before the ball got there. So not a first down like it is in the pro game. Fayetteville gets another shot, this time from the 5.
So 3rd down and goal. Ball on the 5-yard line.
They're spreading them out.
Tanya in the slot on the left side. Fight gonna look. He throws it across the middle, and it's incomplete. It was tipped at the line.
Trying some shallow crossers there were Fayetteville, but Bryant did a nice job. If you don't get home as a defensive lineman, they teach you to get your hands up. They get them in the passing lanes and deflect that one, and it looks like Fayetteville going to try it on the field goal squad. 99, TJ Lindsey. Got a big paw on it.
So on to kick for Fayetteville is Jalen Blackburn. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So Fayetteville, they draw within 5 with 8:18 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Got a lot of ball game left here at War Memorial Stadium. Let's head down to the sideline and check in with Kyle Sutherland.
Just like Bobby said, if you give Bryant the opportunity, they're definitely going to make you pay, and that's what happened on that last offensive drive for them, of scoring in 2 plays. And then Fayetteville, though, you certainly can't count them out. They got the points here, and as they've done all postseason, won't quit, and they'll continue to come back, or at least that's what you would expect.
Thank you, Kyle. As you know, at least they got points out of that drive, Bobby, compared to the last couple that they've had down in the red zone where they had a turnover. That would give the Fayetteville Purple Dogs a little bit of confidence moving forward that when they get down there, they can at least rely on Blackburn to kick the field goal.
Yeah, well, if you're Fayetteville, though, you've got to take advantage of these red zone opportunities. I mean, you look at the numbers, they're 0 of 3 as far as scoring touchdowns when they get in the red zone. Their touchdowns have been from outside of the scoring area, and you've got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone. I mean, that's the big thing is you take the simple play. You don't turn the ball over there. So, yes, you got a kudos for that, but you got to find a way to get 6 because you're not going to beat a team as good as Bryant settling for field goals.
Here's the kick as it's taken in the end zone for a touchback. And so Bryant will get it at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
So they go to the ground game on their first possession of this drive, and I think if you're Buck James, I would lean on that. You can celebrate game day under the arches. Access to tons of benefits through our rewards program. It's available today on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
So Bryant's going to come back out with 2 wide on either side of the formation. Burnett going to hand it off to Martin. And Martin's going to dive forward out to the 25-yard line. He's going to pick up 5 yards on it to bring up 2nd down.
Ross Garner wraps him up, but that initial hit, not able to take him down. As you mentioned, RJ, he's able to fall forward, lunge forward, and pick up 5.
Singleton comes in motion from left to right. They hand it off to Martin. He's bottled up in the backfield, and he's just dragging players, but he'll be taken down for a big loss.
Nice job by Fayetteville. Will Stokenberry able to finally corral him down as much as the second effort got him extra yardage on the previous carry. That time, the second effort cost him a few more yards as he's dropped for a 7-yard loss.
So that brings up 3rd down and 12 for Bryant with the ball on the 18-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the top side of the formation. Burnett going to look to throw. Has to scramble. Eludes Some Fayetteville Purple Dogs finds a man. And that time able to hook up with his wide receiver, Jordan Knox, but it's going to be well short of the line to gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job all the way around on both sides of the football, RJ. You follow the scramble rules. The receivers come back for Bryant. You give your quarterback a window, but Fayetteville doesn't break down. And a nice open field tackle there by Tyreek Scott. And short of the chains by about 4.5 yards. And Fayetteville looks like they're going to get the football back, maybe with another chance to take a lead.
Malachi Graham on to punt for Bryant as he'll put a foot into it. And it will hit at the 34-yard line and be taken by Fayetteville. As coming up with it for the Purple Dogs is going to be Ryan Maxwell, and he'll take it all the way out to the 34-yard line.
So Fayetteville's defense has come to play. They gave up the big play. You wipe that clean, but a nice bounce-back drive for that Fayetteville D. And now you got a chance to give your offense another opportunity to go down and see if they can put some points on the board and maybe take advantage of a drive that gets to the red zone. But, of course, you got to start the drive first.
1st and 10, Fayetteville.
Purple Dogs down by 5 with 6:21 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Ball at the 34-yard line. Press coverage on the outside by Bryant as they're going to hand it off to Espino. Espino, he's got a running lane. Crosses the 50, the 40, and he's finally taken down. Back at the 38-yard line.
That's one of the show-me runs. You're hoping to pick up 2 or 3 yards, and eventually you're going to pop one. Bryant spread the defense there with the offensive receivers to the outside. The old counter charade, pull the backside guard and tackle. A great kickoff block there by 70, Colin Rayford, and Fayetteville's on the move already.
Here's Fight in the lane. Penalty flag down. He'll slide down. It'll be a loss of about 4 on the play. But we've got a penalty flag down at the 43-yard line.
3rd time we've seen a Fayetteville offensive lineman lose a helmet. We'll have to see if maybe that was illegal hands to the face. Yep, it's going to be.
Personal foul, hands to the face on the defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Another big penalty against the Bryant Hornets. We saw it on the last drive for Fayetteville. They got a big penalty on a hold. Now they get another one right here.
That was Rayford, who had his helmet knocked off, made the nice block on the previous play.
Now here's Fight, looking to throw. Goes across the middle, has a man down to the 10-yard line.
The arm talent is there for Fike, and he just rears up and throws a missile to Lack McKinney coming across the middle. The sophomore makes the catch, and this is that critical spot on the field, RJ. 1st and goal. Can Fayetteville finally take advantage and put it into pay dirt?
5:35 and counting. Fight going to hand it off to Espino, and he's met the backfield.
Big 54 for Bryant was having none of that. Will Diggins, he just gobbles up the rusher and slams him down for a 2-yard loss.
2nd down and goal from the 12.
So it's 2nd down and goal now for Fayetteville. Last trip down here, they had to kick a field goal. Fight takes the shotgun snap, goes to look for the end zone to Blackburn, and he goes out of bounds. He caught it, but he went out of bounds, and it's 3rd down.
They just didn't have enough room on that near sideline. You got to kind of set your defensive back up and give your quarterback space along that sideline to make a play. Great throw, tried to drop it in the bucket, just a little too far out in front, and Blackburn couldn't get a toe down.
So 3rd and goal now for Fayetteville. The ball sitting at the 12-yard line. Espino set off to the right of Fight. Fight gonna look, now scramble, runs right up the middle, eludes one defender, and he's knocked down back at the 10-yard line.
Thought he might have had some running room there, but the Bryant defense closes quickly. It looks like the field goal unit coming back on.
The Bryant defense in the red zone has been really, really good today.
I mean, I'm not sure they could be any better, to be quite honest. They forced 3 turnovers in the red zone, now holding Fayetteville to a 2nd field goal attempt.
On to kick.
Blocked it.
Nathan Ketchland. They've got it off the block as it's all the way back at the 40-yard line. They're going to try to scoop it up and take it to the house. Running down the 30. It's going to be a scoop and score. Taking it in is Malachi Graham. He's going to go in for the touchdown. A Bryant Hornet touchdown.
The Hornets have made the big plays. Make one on offense, they've made one on defense, and now on special teams as 22 essentially comes in almost untouched. Traylon Rust not only blocks the field goal, but he swats it back the other direction, allows Graham time to go pick it up. And he outruns the Fayetteville special teams unit, and just like that, Fayetteville can't take advantage of the red zone opportunity, and the Hornets put points on the board.
Stephen Fuller on for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And just like that, the Bryant Hornets, they lead it 28-16 over Fayetteville. They're not doing it offensively, Bobby. They're doing it through special teams and defense.
Yep, it's just the red zone. Fayetteville's been moving the football. They had over 300 yards of total offense in this game, but they're not able to finish these drives off. And I know I sound like a broken record saying it over and over, but it keeps happening. I mean, that's the one thing that Fayetteville's got to be able to do. And Bryant's bending, but they're not breaking, and that's why they've got a 12-point lead.
And going back, I would hopefully our truck can go back and show us the replay of that block kick. And I mean, he literally just split the two defenders almost untouched. Here's that replay. You look 22 right there. Splits both defenders and gets just a clear shot. Took it off the face mask actually, and got the block. But boy, you're not going to get a much easier path to the football than going straight up the middle like that.
Yeah, it's tough for a kicker to get any kind of confidence, any kind of momentum when you hit a player right in the face with it. You want a copy of this game or any other championship game, just go to mmproductions.net and place your order. 3 more title games next weekend. Good matchups.
It's been, hey, after watching some of those semifinal games last night, there's going to be some great games next weekend as well.
Ilo and Robinson in the finals again in the 4A game.
And Fordyce and McCrory in the 2A game. Here's a kickoff as it's going to be taken by Maxwell at the 6-yard line. Maxwell across the 25, and he's taken down at the 27, but we've got a yellow penalty flag in all the way back at the 29-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
The penalties is about the only knock on Bryant. I mean, that's the 8th penalty now for 86 yards compared to this one infraction on Fayetteville for 5 yards. The total yards is going Fayetteville's way. The penalties are going their way. Points not so much because they're not able to capitalize and finish drives.
So it's 1st and 10 with the ball at the 38-yard line for Fayetteville. As Bladen Fight is back in the shotgun. Fight going to go with a big ball and just overshoots his intended target that time as he was trying to hook up with his wide receiver, McKinney.
He had him open. Just could not drop it in there. Tried to rifle it in there, maybe put a little touch on that and allow McKinney to run underneath it.
So that brings up 2nd down and 10. Fight. Looking across the middle. Now going to scramble. Going to be brought down after about a 2-yard gain. And so that's going to bring up 3rd down.
A great job by 51 to close out, get back in the rush lane. Tyler Mosley, you see him there, reaches out and grabs the jersey and able to take down the quarterback. It looked like he had a little running room right up the middle. And Mosley gets a paw on Fike and able to take him down.
3rd down and 9. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation. Fight. Going to step up. Looks to throw. Has a man. Enough for the first down. That's Satania. And he'll get it out past the 45 to the 44.
It's a nice job of the offensive front for Fayetteville. Gives Fike enough time to step up in the pocket and allow Satania to get that out-breaking route and make the catch and get across midfield.
So now a new set of downs for Fayetteville as the ball's at the 44-yard line. 2:55 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Fight. Looks to throw again. Finds Satania again. and he's wrestled down at the 38-yard line.
A quick hitch route. Picks up 6 yards for Fayetteville. Get you ahead of the chains on first down. Chance to get the offense a little flow going.
Second down 4.
Second down. Ball at the 38. Fight. 3-step drop. Now rolls left. Going to take it himself. Going to get to the first down marker, then be driven out of bounds. And it'll be a first down for Fayetteville.
That's a big hit on your quarterback that you don't want him to take. You'd like to see him just step out of bounds after he picks up first down yardage. He's driven to the turf by one of those big defensive linemen for Bryant, who showed good hustle to chase down the play, even though he rolled out of the pocket.
So 1st and 10 for Fayetteville with the ball at the 32-yard line. Espino to the right of Fight. Looking to throw. Has a man. Left side. Walks it in for the touchdown. That time for Fayetteville, it was McKinney who was able to walk into the end zone for the touchdown.
It's a great throw there by Bladen Fike. Just a poster out. He had inside position. McKinney able to make the catch. Makes a man miss, and Fayetteville's offense gets in rhythm and gets in the end zone. A little behind his intended target, but McKinney makes a nice adjustment on it. Finishes it off with a score.
Back and forth we go in this 7A state championship game. As coming on to kick the extra point is Jalen Blackburn. Snaps hold, kicks up, and it's good. So it's 28-23 with under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And we've got a heck of a ball game. You know, we talked about it on the onset of the second half that, you know, you better buckle up because this one was going to be a track meet.
And if you're Fayetteville's defense, you've got to feel pretty good about yourself. You've only given up 14 points. Bryant scored on defense. They've scored on special teams. And so just go out and continue to do what you do. But Bryant started to have some success running the football. You know, the numbers are actually going to be pretty skewed. They've got 161 yards on the ground, but 85 or 87 of that came on one play for Ganaway. Now they got a chance to answer back, and this is kind of what we expected to see. You know, maybe a higher scoring affair, just teams going back and forth trading scores.
That drive for Fayetteville, 6 plays, 58 yards. It took 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Give a big shout out to Ashley Media. They've helped us get the word out about the state football championships. Of course, we appreciate their support.
So here's the kick, as it's an end-over-end kick that'll carry Jordan Knox into the end zone, and so Bryant will get it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Kyle Sutherland and check in on the pulse on the field. Kyle.
Fellas, you could pretty much compare Fayetteville to Happy Gilmore right now. They're scoring better on the long drives as opposed to getting in the red zone. And like Bobby said, it's pretty much like a wall right there. But they continue to fight, and they're continuing to come back. But it's just a complete roller coaster, and that's kind of how it's been on both sides. Basically, you hear a lot of cheering on one and then the other. And so a lot of fireworks right now.
So if you're at 1st and goal, do you take two delay a game so you get out of the red zone, score from there?
Man comes in motion, that's Singleton, and now we've got a whistle and a penalty flag.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties are really racking up against Bryant. That's the 9th penalty for Bryant for 91 yards.
We saw. Was it El Dorado had 14 penalties in the game earlier today, found a way to get it done. Generally, if you're creeping up on double-digit penalties, it's really tough to win a game. Bryant's got a 5-point lead despite all those miscues.
Singleton comes in motion from left to right. Gonna fake the handoff. He finds Singleton out to the 30. He has the first down and more as he gets it down to the 33-yard line.
Singleton hasn't had a huge day. It's his 4th catch, a I think it's his biggest play right there, but one of the Fayetteville defenders went for the big hit instead of wrapping him up, and that allowed him to get extra yards after contact. You try to go for the big tackle there, you don't wrap up, and gives up 7-8 more yards and allows Bryant to get a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10, ball at the 33-yard line. Singleton comes in motion from left to right. They give the handoff to Ganaway. Ganaway gets it out just shy of the 40-yard line as it's out to the 38. Picks up 5 yards, and it brings up 2nd down.
You know, I haven't seen Bryant but a handful of times this year, but you got to believe that Ganaway loves the second half. He doesn't get to play in them a lot, but that's when that big frame, that big offensive line really starts to wear on a defense. He's up to 154 yards now. You expect number 41 to get a lot more touches as we progress towards that 4th period.
Down to a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. As Burnett's in the shotgun. And I hand it off to Ganaway. He's trying to get the edge. Ganaway just dives forward to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard, he did, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
It's a nice job of Fayetteville's defense, making him stretch it out, try to create something on the outside. Cade Fields was one of the first players there to make contact. Now we've got a Fayetteville defender down on the turf.
Trying to look to see who that was. Yeah, I believe, Bobby, that's going to be Jason Johnson, the senior.
That'd be a big loss as he's got 2 sacks here tonight.
He's down at over by the 36-yard line on the Bryant side of the field. While they check on him, we'll go over some stats for this game. And as Bobby's mentioned, you know, if you look at the stat board, you almost would say, well, Fayetteville's running away with this game, because in total yardage, Fayetteville's had 362 yards of total offense, and Bryant has had 275. Passing, Bryant 108 yards passing, Fayetteville 301. Rushing, Bryant 167 to Fayetteville 61. You know, outside of that big run by Ganaway, their total yardage is not really.
Oh, you're exactly right. I mean, 85 of their 275 yards came on one play, but again, turnovers can kill you no matter if you're playing the state championship game or the season opener, and that's been the problem for Fayetteville so far.
Here's Martin for Bryant, really trying to get to the edge. He's fighting off Bulldogs, and he's taken down about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be 4th down.
Braylon Palmer, he's going to be slow to get up, but he made the play there and able to get Martin to the ground and gets the football back for your offense. And Palmer gutting it out and makes a big, big play.
So on to punt for Bryant is going to be Malachi Graham. Back deep is going to be Maxwell for Fayetteville. He'll stand at the 10-yard line. It's a gorgeous punt. That is a spiral. It'll go all the way down, and
wow,
it'll go out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
You can't draw that up any better, RJ.
That is a beautiful punt.
60 yards, and it goes out of bounds at the 1.
And so Fayetteville's going to have to go 99 yards as we've ended the 3rd quarter of play. Hey, buckle up if you're enjoying this one, because we head to the 4th quarter where the Bryant Hornets lead at 28-23, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
You know, I think athletics are really important for young people. It teaches you to not only trust others, but to help others when they need a pick-me-up. And I think high school athletics do a great job of saying, hey, I can lead you, I can show you how to do something, or I can follow your example. I'm Bobby Swafford, and I just ask that you think about giving to Arkansas PBS.
this month in Passport on the PBS video app.
Feels like a oneness, and it's refreshing.
Starring Cara Toynton and Julian Ovenden. Don't miss The Sound of Music.
And the American Pops for a star-studded holiday celebration of American jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
If you love seeing these televised high school sports championships, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today.
Well, if you've enjoyed this game, stick around. You don't want to miss a minute this fourth quarter. Fayetteville's got it at the 1 yard line. 1st and 10. Fike in the end zone. Under pressure. Looking to throw. Tries to find a man. It's in and out of his hands. That time he was trying to hook up with his wide receiver. That was actually McKinney. And it went in and out of his hands.
It's a pretty good throw. It was another tight window. 2 defenders right there, bracketing McKinney. And just the receiver could not come up with it. That would have been a big play to get Fayetteville out of their own end zone.
So 3 wide to the top of the formation. Fike looking to throw. Fade route, left side. It's intercepted. It's intercepted down at the 27-yard line.
The 4th interception of the day for Fike. The Fayetteville coaching staff saying that one hit the football, but as it stands right now, another turnover, and Malachi Graham, who ran the block field goal back for a touchdown, makes a big play on defense.
And the Fayetteville staff is not happy with that. We're going to get another look of it right here. I thought it was a pretty clear interception as he caught it. You can't see what happened on the when he turned over.
They are reviewing it. They've already announced this play is under review.
Let's see a couple more replays of that if we can, guys. And because from that angle right there, when he turned over, you couldn't quite see if he held on to it. Fayetteville was pretty adamant that he didn't hold on to it. So here's the upper view of it as he has it. Oh, no.
That ball could be out.
Yeah, I think that ball may be out.
Yep, the Fayetteville coaching staff was right there in front of it. They saw it in a quick review, and here's James Durham with the call.
After review, the receiver did not survive the ground. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 1 yard line.
How big has instant replay been in these state championships?
Big. There's been several calls that looked at least live play like that. That looked like a clean interception from our vantage point, but that's why they put the replay into these state championship games, because you always want to make the obvious calls correct.
Yes.
Now, we're not here to split hairs and make sure that we get every half-yard gain correctly, but those are the type of plays that you want to overturn, and Fayetteville benefits from it right there.
So now you've got a 3rd down and 10 with the ball at the 1 yard line.
Yep. They try to force it there to Blackburn on the go route.
Bobby, do you almost just try to find a play to get you out of the shadow of your end zone?
Absolutely.
I mean, just something, a short crossing pattern?
First, the hole in this Bryant defense has been deep middle.
Yeah.
15 to 20 yards right in the middle of the field. That's where Fayetteville's attacking right here.
And it's in and out of the hands of Satania. And so now that's 4th down. And now they're going to have to punt out of the back of their end zone.
But they found the weakness in the defense of Bryant. They're really pushing their safeties over the top to the outside. But that deep middle, that right behind the linebackers, 15 to about 20 yards is where they're trying to exploit. That time Satania couldn't reel it in, and now Fayetteville punter's got his heels on the back line of the end zone.
Singleton's set up at the 40-yard line. Bryant could get really good field position right here. Kick is away, and it's going to be taken on a hop. No, it won't be taken. It'll stop at the 44-yard line. Singleton looked like he was going to come up and try to get that one, then he thought better of it.
That's smart.
And so Bryant's going to have it with great field position in Fayetteville territory at the 44-yard line. First and 10 at the 44 with 11:35 to play in this one. Carson Burnett, the quarterback for Bryant. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. as he's going to hand it to Martin. Martin spins straight at the middle. Going to get good yardage as he gets about 5 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Owen McCone up to make that play, but that initial surge from the offensive line from Bryant, you can see the line of scrimmage move about 2 yards back to the end zone, and that means you're establishing that point of contact, and that's what you want to do when you've got those big uglies up front like Bryant does.
So 2nd and 5, nose of the football on the 39. Singleton comes in motion from right to left. They hand it off to Martin. He gets around the edge, looking for the first down. He's got it, and he dives for the sideline as he'll be out of bounds at the 32. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets.
Nice job by Martin. Just kind of stretch that out and wait till you find a lane. And able to lunge for extra yardage. And that clock continues to roll as we're under 10. I'm creeping up on 10 and a half minutes here in the 4th.
4 wide receivers in the formation this time as Martin sets off to the right of Burnett. Singleton goes in motion from left to right. Now here's Burnett looking to throw. Has a man at the 10-yard line. He held on to it. Holy moly, Bobby. Blake Everett was able to split a double team and come up with the catch.
That's a great throw, and even better catch by Everett as he knew a hit was coming. And Burnett put it on him. A nice play right between the 2 defenders and able to hang on with a defender hanging on his back. Another one coming right at his face, but he makes the big play. Now it's 1st and 10 right outside the 10-yard line.
Gonna hand it off to Martin again, straight up the middle, dragging tacklers all the way down to the 6-yard line. The Hornets can still get a first down by getting to the 1.
They started to pick up the pace a little bit, did Bryant there. They hurried it up there, handed it off to Martin. He's getting a lot of touches in this contest. We know about Ganaway, but Martin now has got 11 carries. Make that 12 carries.
2nd down, ball on the 5. Gives it to Martin, left side. He's going to walk into the end zone, touchdown.
That's a big drive there for Bryant. You get a stop defensively after the great punt, and that's when the special teams really comes into play. You pin Fayetteville inside their own 1-yard line. The defense comes up with a 3 and out, and now your offense takes advantage of a short field, and more importantly for the Hornets, pushes that lead back to 2 possessions.
That's the 2nd rushing touchdown for Martin as the extra point is up and is good, and the Hornets are out to a 35-23 lead here in the 7A State Championship. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and their continued support of Arkansas PBS.
Bryant's on to kick off with 9:35 to play here in the ball game. Satania and Maxwell are back deep for Fayetteville.
The response here if you're the Purple Dogs. We're starting to run out of time and possessions.
Guy kick is fair caught over on the left side. And so now Fayetteville's going to have it as Hayes Robinson was able to catch that ball over at the 28-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10.
The key for Fayetteville here is to stay within yourself. Casey Dick said it at the half. We just got to make the simple play, make the basic play, stay within yourself, stay within the offense. You can't go out and score 12 points right here. It's just not legally possible. And so just go down, march down, get points. Got to put it in the end zone. Your field goal does you no good here. Just You've got plenty of time. You don't have to score in 1 or 2 plays. Just run your offense and make the easy play.
1st and 10. Fike looking to throw. Under pressure. Steps up. Goes left side. Has a man. That's Blackburn. He's across the 50 to the 45-40. Off to the races he goes. 25-20. 15 down to the 10. 5. Touchdown. 1 play for Fayetteville, and they strike right back.
Well, let's say you don't have to score in 1 play. I know nothing. Sure beats going to the red zone, doesn't it, RJ?
Oh, my goodness.
Blackburn shows off the speed. Everybody talks about how fast Satania is. Blackburn put Bryant in his rearview mirror. And 1 play, 72 yards, and we have got a nail-biter here at War Memorial.
Look at this. I mean, just breakaway speed by Blackburn. He puts a move on right there to cut it back inside. And, I mean, just ran away from everybody as the extra point's up and good. And it's a 35-20 or 35-30 game with 9:20 to play here in the 4th quarter.
We knew it was going to be back and forth. I'm not sure we thought we'd see this many explosive plays.
You said, you know what, at halftime, you said, well, we thought we'd have a higher score.
And here we are. Bladen Fike now, I mean, his box score numbers are just going to be something that like make you scratch your head. 17 of 41, so well below a 50% completion percentage, but 373 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And 3 interceptions.
I mean, this game has seen it all. We've seen a defensive score. We've seen a special team score. We've seen an 85-yard run. Now we've seen a 72-yard pass play.
And then you look on the Bryant side, Carson Burnett's 10 of 15 for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. But Ganaway's run for 155 and a touchdown. And then James Martin, 66 yards and 2 scores.
Yeah. Now, if you're Fayetteville, you got to slow down the run game. Bryant's started to establish that line of scrimmage. Maybe you have to walk another defender up. Maybe you added another defensive lineman because Bryant has really started to establish himself.
And one thing to point out, you and I talked about in the break, Fayetteville's defense was tired. You could tell that they were a little bit tired. They didn't have much of a rest now after that 1-play scoring drive. Here's Singleton with it for Bryant as he'll cross the 20. Still on his feet out to the 30 and taken down at the 31.
So we'll have to see if and what kind of adjustments Kenneth Chick, the defensive coordinator for Fayetteville, makes here. Because, I mean, if you're Bryant, the running game's working. I mean, 190 yards on 30 attempts. You're averaging 6.3 yards a carry, and that's including a negative 31 yards rushing for your quarterback because of quarterback sacks. And you mentioned the numbers already, RJ. Ganaway and Martin have combined for 211 yards between themselves, averaging about 9 yards a carry between the two. Lean on those running backs, lean on your offensive line. They could pave the way to a title for you here in the 4th.
Carson Burnett brings Singleton in motion from left to right. They're going to give it off to Ganaway. Ganaway, he's off to the races. Left side, crosses the 50, down to the 49-yard line.
Yep, a simple off-tackle play. Crosses the quarterback's face, crosses the defense, and he picks up good yardage and moves across midfield.
1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line in Fayetteville territory. Singleton in motion now for the Hornets. Gives it to Ganaway again. Got an open running lane and gets tripped up at the last moment. That time coming up with the really touchdown-saving tackle was Jackson Taylor for Fayetteville.
Yeah, that definitely saved the touchdown as Fayetteville's trying to bring in a few fresh bodies. And Bryant's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. But those front 5 for Bryant have established themselves, and they're taking over.
Going to give it to Ganaway again around the edge. And he'll get out of bounds. Bobby, that was 3 straight plays that looked identical.
It's working. You know, there's no point going to anything else. You've got everything you've got in the playbook on film. Fayetteville knows what you're going to do. You know your best play, and right now it's that kind of that stretch play, the lead play over to the left side, and trusting big 54, the left tackle, 73, the left guard. And they're just mowing over Fayetteville's defensive front right now.
2nd down for Bryant. Ball at the 34. Burnett looking to throw. Big ball downfield, in and out of the hands of his wide receiver.
Might have to see a replay on that. I couldn't tell if Maxwell got a hand on it. Well, that looked like a perfect pass for Burnett, and I thought that was, as soon as that left its hand, I thought that was 6 points for the Hornets.
Jordan Knox was the intended receiver. He got the separation, and no, it just went in and out of his hands.
And right through his hands. Let the football get to his body. Youngsters at home watching it, catch the football with your hands.
And now we've got a whistle and a timeout charge to Fayetteville here on 3rd down and 7. And they're going to set this thing up.
Big 2-play sequence here for Fayetteville's defense.
Let me ask you this, Bobby. I mean, I know Bryant's got a 5-point lead, but once again, you're kind of in that no man's land. And so you got to think for Bryant, you're going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it.
I mean, you're sitting at 3rd and 7, and even if you pick up 6 yards, I think you go for it. I think this is probably out of the field goal kicker's range, and you don't want to risk it. I mean, we've already seen 1 field goal block today, and of course that was Bryant that did it. But the way you're running the football, and if you get half of this back, I don't even think if you lose yardage here, I think you're going for it. I think you've got 2 downs to pick up this 1st down if you're Bryant. Now you got to see what they dial up.
I mean, you got to think you're going to have Ganaway on the field, and that stretch play that they ran to the left side that worked 3 straight times. Wouldn't you almost say, let's flip the field and do it on the right side and see if that works? It
may be something with the alignment they see in the Fayetteville defense is why they're picking on that left side, or it just could be the play of 54 and 73, like I mentioned a moment ago. You got Jason Shiflett and Will Diggins on that left side. And
either way, they're going to go 5 wide. Now here's Burnett. He's going to run with it, and he was only able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job there. Again, good to see him back on the field, too, for Fayetteville. And Jason Johnson, he was shaken up a few plays ago. Not fooled by the option read, and he tracks down Burnett from behind. A big play, and now a huge, huge play for both of these sides as it's 4th and 7.
On 4th down today, Bryant is 1 of 2. It's 4th and 7. 3 wide to the near side. Burnett looking to throw. Going big ball downfield, and it's incomplete.
Notice they brought in Isaiah Satani to play defensive back there. They don't do it a lot, but in big situations, they do turn to their best receiver to go play a little defense. And that time, he high points the football, breaks it up, and Fayetteville's offense has got possession again with a chance to take a lead.
He almost came up with an interception as he went over the top of both Bryant defenders and was able to knock that thing down. So now with 7:45 to play here in the 4th quarter, Fayetteville's going to try to take the lead as they're down by 5.
This is entertaining, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Man, this is what it's supposed to be. This is the largest classification. It's supposed to be the best teams in Arkansas, and these 2 teams look like it.
Bladen Fike is in the shotgun. Under pressure. Looking to throw. Penalty flag down. Fike is going to run with it, and he'll slide down at the 41-yard line, but there's going to be a hold back in the backfield.
This is where the offensive lineman is going to come out in me.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
If we take a look at this, the left tackle for Fayetteville, I believe it was number 50, Grayson Bandy, is going to get called for the hold. And I think the left side of your screen, watch him here. He kind of pushes the play inside. Okay, he's got the hand inside the collar there. I thought it was just a straight pancake block. The replay shows he does have the hand inside the collar. That's a good call by the white hat behind.
I'm shocked that an offensive lineman agrees to that.
I was about to come unhinged on there. I thought that was just a straight pancake.
1st and 25. Fike pump fakes. Gonna run left side, loses yardage, and it's 2nd down.
Throw it away. Bladen Fike's just holding on to the football too long. That's not a huge loss, but that's just one of those plays that you can't afford to take. With the hold being a spot foul or a penalty from the spot, Fayetteville is way behind the chains. Now you're talking about 2nd and 27.
So the ball's going to be on the 17-yard line, so it's 2nd and 27.
Got to get it all the way out to the 44.
Think about this. Fayetteville was in the same situation in the 1st half, and they ended up getting the 1st down on 2 plays. Here's Fike now, stepping up, has a man, and he's got his man all the way out to the 39-yard line. Making the reception that time was Christian Setzer.
So Setzer just makes the play and takes a big hit, and coming right up between the hashes, right up the seam. And they got more than half of that back now, RJ, and that's certainly 3rd manageable. That might have been sneaking him out of the backfield.
3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 39-yard line. 6:15 and counting in the ball game. Fike drops back, Looking to throw, now going to run with it. Has a running lane, and the first down. Slides down at the 49-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Fayetteville.
It's a great job by Fike to recognize the 2 defensive ends for Bryant are really rushing hard to the outside. The center controls the nose man for Bryant to step up. He saw an open running lane, took what the defense gave him, slid down. Now he's got a new first down right near midfield. I've been really impressed with this offensive line for Fayetteville.
And now we've got whistles and a timeout charge to Bryant.
You know, they've given up now 5 sacks, but also that's on 47 pass attempts. You know, Bryant's got some talented players out there. I know they're without Brandon Jones, who's not playing tonight, but a lot of people think is their best defensive player. But those guys up front for Fayetteville have given their offense an opportunity to make plays.
Let's head down the sideline and check in with Kyle Sutherland. I guess Kyle is having a little technical difficulties.
You want a copy of any state championship game? Go to mmproductions.net, place your order. 8-man game this week. That's actually what you probably want to buy. You want to watch that one over and over.
Oh, either that one or this one of the two.
66-60 in double overtime.
That was so much.
That set the table for this week, and the other games honestly haven't been disappointing either. The game this afternoon was very entertaining, a defensive slugfest, and this one is well worth the price of admission, or at least turn it on your TV set.
1st and 10, 5 wide receivers in the formation. Fike gonna look to throw. He's gonna step up. Works it on the right side, now cuts it back, still on his feet. He's just going inside and out, and he was able to pick up about 5 yards just dancing around.
That was not a normal looking 6-yard run, that's for sure.
He's gonna be exhausted to even throw that. They're gonna have to run the football because he's gonna be so tired to throw.
Just dancing around trying to make something happen, and his offensive line did a nice job of peeling back. 72 right there. Davis Turner circles back, picks up another block.
2nd down. Here's the throw by Fike. Going big ball, left side. He's got a man at the 10-yard line, and he's spun down to the 5.
Jason Delamar. First time we've called his name today, and what a big play down the sideline, and 1st and goal at the 4.
He's literally like I was looking at the depth chart. He's like the 7th receiver in this group.
Doesn't matter where you're on the depth chart. If they call your number, take advantage of it. Now Fayetteville got to find a way to take advantage of a red zone opportunity.
They marked him down at the 4-yard line. There's 7 on the play clock.
Turner's in at running back.
Fike. Now we got a whistle and a penalty flag on that far side of the field. They're going to say it's offsides on Bryant.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Now you got to believe they're really going to give it to Turner. The linebacker they bring in a short yardage situation. We talked about how Bryant was leaning on their offensive line. Now Fayetteville's got to call on their big guys up front. Hey, we need 2 yards, guys. This plow forward. That's what, if you're Casey Dick and that coaching staff, that's what you're telling them.
Caden Turner in to the right of Fike. Fike's going to take it himself. Works on the right side, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Fayetteville. Fayetteville has taken the lead after a 4-yard run by Bladen Fike.
The first time they've had the chance to take the lead, that actually took advantage of it. Got to believe they're going to go for 2 to try to push this advantage to 3 points. But what an effort by Fike. He stood up at the line of scrimmage, but fought for the goal line. He's going to be a good look at it here. And he's just wills his way into the end zone, and Fayetteville's got their first lead.
1-point game, 36-35.
Maybe asking why that's not a horse collar tackle, but in between the tackle box, that's not a penalty.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Fike takes the snap. looking to throw. Left side, into the hands of Satania, touchdown.
That was a beautiful whip route, which Satania takes a couple steps in like he's cutting in and then circles back out to the flat. If you watch the Patriots much, that's a Julian Edelman route that he ran to perfection for years for those guys, and Satania ran it to perfection there and gets the 2-point play.
4:07 to play in this one as Fayetteville leads at 38-35. Let's check back in with Kyle Sutherland on the sideline.
Guys, back and forth that we continued to see, and that was just a great drive by Fayetteville. They've had their backs up against the wall multiple times. Both teams have. Now can Bryant respond?
513 yards of total offense, 436 through the air for Fayetteville.
And if you look at both teams, Bobby, you've got over 760 yards of total offense between the two schools. Or excuse me, 860 yards of total offense between the two schools.
And these guys and that doesn't include a defensive touchdown.
No.
The return yardage on a block field goal that went 90 yards. I mean, it's absolutely wild what we've seen here tonight.
Here's the kickoff as it will sail into the end zone for the touchback. And Bryant will have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line with 4:07 to play here in the ball game.
We got a lot of football left. 4:07. Both teams have 2 timeouts. You almost feel like, okay, who's going to score last? It's not going to be, okay, is Bryant going to score here to take a lead? It's like, okay, who's going to have the ball last?
I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. I feel like I've been out there playing. I'm exhausted. This has been a heck of a football game, and tell you, if you are a high school fan in the state of Arkansas, you're loving this right now.
We're going to want to watch this game over and over, and you can do it next week. Just go to youtube.com/ArkansasPBS, and you can watch this game on repeat.
Carson Burnett in the shotgun. Brings Singleton in motion from left to right. Going to give it off to Ganaway. Ganaway gets bottled up the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up a yard on the play.
It's a great job on that right side of the Fayetteville defensive front. For the first time in probably a while, probably going back to maybe the second quarter, there wasn't a huge hole on that side, and Fayetteville's defense able to shut it down, but we've got a Purple Dog defender who's slow to get up.
Can't quite see who that is, as he's all the way on that far side. Looks like he's just trying to stretch out those hamstrings, Bobby. Hey, don't forget, next weekend right here on Arkansas PBS Sports, you'll be able to see the second half of games in the state, as we will have the 2A, the 3A, and 4A games that will all play right here at War Memorial Stadium. You'll be able to see those games with myself, Wes Moore, and Bobby Swaffer, as well as Kyle Sutherland on the field. As if anything has been determined after this weekend, we're going to have another great weekend of games next weekend.
I mean, I think all 3 games have a chance to be really good, but Joe T, Robinson, and Shiloh Christian, they may combine for 140 points. I say that, and they may be 10-7 like the game was earlier today.
By the way, the attendance for today's crowd, 8,571.
Sounds low.
It does kind of seem a little low for.
It's like there's 8,000 people on the Bryant side alone.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
And there's a full house on the Fayetteville side. It's 2nd down and 9. Ball on the 21-yard line. Burnett is in the shotgun for Bryant. Burnett looking to throw. He's going to take off himself. Across the 20, still on his feet. Out past the 25, and is going to be taken down at the 27-yard line.
It's a great job by Burnett. It looked like he had a chance to be taken down a handful of times there, but he's able to maintain his balance, maintain his feet, and pick up a few extra yards, and makes it a 3rd, and this is at the long 3.
That's going to be a really long 3. Almost, well, we're just going to go ahead and call it 4.
I think it's Ganaway time. You got to trust those guys up front.
You got 2 wide receivers on either side of the formation. Singleton comes in motion from right to left. Burnett looking to throw, and he overthrows his wide receiver as he throws it out of bounds.
With 2 timeouts here, I don't know that you have to go for it.
But they've not been able to.
Bryant?
Yeah, but they've not been able to stop Fayetteville in between the 20s.
You're exactly right, and that may be what Coach Buck James is considering right here. You got 2 timeouts. If you punt it away, the special teams have been really, really good for Bryant. But it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field, and they're going to roll the dice right here.
Bryant so far tonight, 1 of 3 on 4th down.
The play clock down to 12. Buck James is standing right there next to the official. So if he doesn't like the look, he could call timeout.
3 wide to the near side. Burnett all by himself in the backfield. He's going to look to throw. Burnett, right side, has a receiver. That's Singleton at the 40-yard line. He gets away across the 50, and he's knocked out of bounds down at the 43-yard line.
What a throw and what a catch by Singleton. He's been quiet for most of the evening, but when you need it most, you go to your most reliable target, and that's what Singleton is, and makes a great catch across the middle, absorbs a blow, and picks up huge yards after the contact.
I mean, that is a big throw and a big catch, because, I mean, he was covered up right there, and that's a dangerous throw if you're Bryant to try to do on fourth down.
You've got to unload it. You've got to trust your playmakers, and now the clock becomes a major factor for both sides.
Singleton in motion from left to right. Bryant going to hand it off to Martin. No, that's Ganaway. Ganaway out past the 40. Still on his feet. Gets out to the 36-yard line. 2:25 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
So we'll have to wait and see where, if and when Fayetteville wants to start taking timeouts defensively to save some time for their offense. Obviously, you want to make Bryant beat you, but you got to leave yourself some time just in case the Hornets do punch it in the end zone.
2:07 and counting. 3 wide to the top side. Bryant, low snap, looking to throw, going big ball into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Bryant! But there is a penalty flag in the end zone. We're going to see what the penalty is, as they were both going hand checking in the end zone. That was Singleton who caught the touchdown pass.
There's a lot of contact, a lot of hand fighting. It is going to be, they're talking with the Bryant staff, so that's going to be interference on Fayetteville.
Touchdown is good. Pass interference on the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
You know, this is going to sound crazy, RJ. Not the end of the world to give up a touchdown that quickly for Fayetteville. Now you've got a minute 53 and 2 timeouts yourself to come back and respond. You're down 3 now. PAT would make it 4. You've got a chance.
Fuller is going to kick the extra point. It's up and good. And Bryant, they take a 42-38 lead with a minute 53 to play here in the fourth quarter. Let's go back down to Kyle Sutherland on the sideline. Kyle's having technical issues down there on the sideline, so Bobby, I tell you, I mean, you go back and forth like this. I mean, at the rate we've gone here in the second half, you could almost have 3 more scores with a minute 53 in the fourth.
I mean, it was 14-13 at halftime.
Yes.
It's hard to forget that. These two teams have put up 28 for Bryant, 25 for Fayetteville, but now it's going to come down to the final possession. And now this is going to be very interesting here. Bryant's kicking off from the Fayetteville 45. You can even go onside kick. Maybe you go try to pin them deep inside the 5 and go cover it. There's a lot of things that Bryant could do here, or they could just bang it out of the back of the end zone and make Fayetteville go 80.
I was about to say, you got Satania back there as they're going to kick it off, and yeah, they're going to go through the back of the end zone. I tell you, anytime you've got Isaiah Satania sitting back there, and as fast as he is, don't even let him have a shot.
Yep. So now you're Fayetteville. I think you got to attack the middle of the defense. I mean, that's been the hole for Bryant. You know, that 15 to 20 yards right behind the linebackers is where you've been able to attack between the safeties. You know, but the key is now, does Bryant make an adjustment knowing that has been the weakness, and Fayetteville's been able to explode it.
I mean, there is not a person sitting down here at War Memorial Stadium.
1:53 left to determine the large classification state title.
Fike going to look to throw. Has a ton of time. Goes right with it. Finds a man. That time it's Robinson. He gets knocked out of bounds about a yard shy of the first down.
What Bryant did there was pretty interesting. They rushed the 2 defensive ends, and they dropped the nose tackle back more like a quarterback spy that didn't allow Fike to step up into the pocket. So he rolls to his right and throws a dart to his receiver right there on the far sideline. And Hayes Robinson makes the catch.
5 wide in the formation. Fike looking to throw. He steps up. Now he's going to run with it. Has the first down. He'll slide 3 yards past the first down marker. It'll be 1st and 10.
They did the same thing right there, RJ. They dropped the spy back, and that time Fike faked like he was going to run left, juked him out, got the first down, and quickly got down. Now the clock's moving. We got 90 seconds left.
Fayetteville has 2 timeouts remaining. It's 1st and 10. Fike looking to throw. He's going to go left, and he gets hit hard for a 4-yard gain. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be Bryant football. It's the 6th turnover of the night, and Bryant comes up with a huge turnover.
Fike didn't feel the pressure coming from behind, didn't secure the football, and the big hit jars the ball loose. You can see it, there it is right there, a big blow coming from behind. The ball's out, and I believe the defensive end for Bryant right there recovers it, and a tough blow for the Bulldogs.
Bobby, I tell you what, man, this has been a game for the ages right there.
5 turnovers.
I said 6. I meant 5 turnovers in the ball game. Wow. And it's still been a heck of a ball game.
Yeah. And Fayetteville, I mean, they've got 2 timeouts, so this is not a foregone conclusion. If Bryant gets a first down, they can run out the clock. But, man, Fayetteville's just got to be beside themselves knowing that they just shot themselves in the foot time and time again, but that was a big-time play by the Hornet defense.
Now here's Martin running the football for the Hornets as he gets it out past the 40. He's going to lose about 2 yards on the play. It's 2nd down now. They're going to officially spot it 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 11. We've got a timeout on the field.
That took 8 seconds to play. So if you say that the 2nd down takes 8 seconds, that puts you at 59. You burn your final timeout for Fayetteville. And then Bryant can burn 40. You're not looking like a whole lot of time left for Fayetteville. So what you got to do is you got to stand up the ball carrier, and you got the rest of your team's got to come in and swing it at the football and try to get it out.
1:07 to play. Bryant leads 42-38. Total yardage in this game, Fayetteville has put up 530 yards of total offense. Bryant has put up 432 yards of offense. 2nd down and 11.
To find a way to get the football out if you're the Purple Dog defense.
Martin hit at the line of scrimmage. Actually, he's going to lose another yard, and it's going to bring up another timeout situation for Fayetteville, and so they have no more timeouts in the ball game.
Fayetteville brought extra rushers that time from the outside and hemmed him up in the backfield, and now with 1:03, so that play didn't quite take as long. So Bryant would assumingly they run the football here, run it all the way down, and you take a timeout with 0 on the play clock or 1 on the play clock, and that would put you at about 20 seconds or so left in the game with 4th down.
And then you
don't get a first down here.
And then if you don't get the first down, you just try to punt it and pin them back as deep as you can?
Yeah, probably. It also depends on what you pick up here on 3rd down.
No.
But then you risk the opportunity of a block punt, a punt return. There's a lot of scenarios you're going through, and maybe you just trust your offense to kill a little time.
So it's 3rd down and 13. Burnett in the shotgun. Gonna hand it off. Kicks it outside. That's Ganaway. He gets it out past the 40 and to the 39-yard line. So he only gains a yard. Now it's 4th down.
The game clock's at 50. Play clock's at 34. So 16-second differential. Not a whole lot of time left. We'll see what, Bryant's going to let this run all the way down. And they may even, since they're way behind the chains, they may even decide to take a delay of game and burn off that extra second. And then decide what you do from there. I think what I would do here, RJ, is I take the delay of game. It takes it all the way down to about 15 seconds, and then I would punt it. Punt it and just kick it. Tell your guy to kick it out of the back of the end zone. Don't allow a return, and say, okay, if you're going to beat us, you got to do it with a Hail Mary from 80 yards.
So they call the timeout with 17 seconds remaining in the ball game. Bryant's got 1 timeout remaining. And we'll see what decision Buck James comes up with. Bryant looking for their 4th straight state championship at the Class 7A level.
These two teams, man, it's back and forth with the turnovers. 7 turnovers combined between these two, but 5 of those for Fayetteville. 3 interceptions, and that fumble on that last drive was crippling.
So they are going to come on and punt.
Nobody back deep for Fayetteville. That's Burnett, the quarterback, who's lined up as the punter.
And Bryant's...
They may not have enough players out there.
Well, there's still 15 on the play clock as they rush a guy on.
Deep sapper is essential.
That is usually a key part to this. Now they're going to drop Satania back. And the punt is going to sail into the end zone. So now you've got 12 seconds left on the game clock, and Fayetteville will get the ball at the 20-yard line.
What you got to do here if you're Bryant, let's go defensive perspection here, is you don't obviously let anything deep, but you'll try to force everything back to the middle of the field. Now, a first down is going to stop the clock, but you don't want to give up those easy 10, 12-yard outs that only take 2 or 3 seconds. You can't give those up if you're Bryant, so try to force everything back into the middle of the field, and, of course, don't let anything go over your head.
So Bladen Fike is in the shotgun with 3 wide to the near side. Fike looking to throw, has a man over the left side, and he got it out to Robinson. There's 5 seconds remaining in the ball game.
So if you're Fayetteville, you look at that, you consider going with another quick out, maybe get you 5 or 6 more yards depending on when the defense is lined up, or you could potentially take the Hail Mary here, RJ. Right now there's nobody lined up on Satania on the bottom of your screen, and if they stay like this, I quickly just throw it out to the receiver and let him go out of bounds.
Fike steps up, time has expired. He's going to throw it, and he's going to take it to the end zone. Fike to the end zone is batted away. The Bryant Hornets are 4-time defending state champions. Your final score, the Bryant Hornets 42, the Fayetteville Bulldogs 38 in a classic of a state championship game.
What a game between these two teams. It came down to the final play. Fike gave his team a chance as he hailed one deep, but the Hornets were there to